Good Friday morning. I'm Zev Fema, research analyst for Action Alerts Plus. Catherine Ross is out today. I'm here on the floor of the NYSE with Jim Cramer. Jim, let's dive right into it. You got it. Another day, another IPO.
The CEO, he's sending me, this is a picture of NVIDIA.
Chewy, by the way.
NVIDIA's off today because of the problems with Broadcom. Marley just in the game, Mr. Marles. This is an equity. You gave us some valuations, Zev.
So real quick, so the IPO was at about 8.8. The IPO was at about 8.8 billion. That's about $22 a share, I believe. I'm looking at it. We're pricing at the moment 28.30, so somewhere in that range. It keeps moving up. It was 26.29 a minute ago. Jim, what's 3 things people need to know before we trade?
First is the humanization of pets. There are very few stocks that give you a play on this. There's Zoetis. That's been very important. IDEX Labs, look at those stocks. They've been unbelievable.
Right, and IDEX is the veterinary care.
So there are very few of them. There's a couple of others that I don't really care for, but those I both really like. That's one. Number 2 is the evolution of from the basement to the bedroom to the bed. That makes you want to pay up. Okay, and 3 is subscription economy, which we talk about a lot. 90% of the people who have subscribed re-up. So you have a lifetime value of a customer that's gigantic. Against this, obviously, they said their margins are expanding, which I thought was really important.
Right.
Against this is like, what's the real barriers to entry? Well, this gentleman, he's from Amazon.
So actually, because you do bring that up, let me just mention, we use Chewy in our household, and we're one of the auto ship customers. Every 2 months, shows up to the front door. We don't think about anything. And I asked Ari with AAP what he thought about this, and he asked, well, what's stopping Amazon from pushing in? Which is why Sumit Singh's background is so interesting, coming from Amazon worldwide,
right, so it's
consumables.
Wayfair, you can win in a battle against Amazon. You can win if you sew up customers. So the 90% number is what makes me feel that you're not going to be stopped by Amazon. The prices are good. A lot of times people tell me the delivery is better. Actually, delivery's better.
I mean, for me, the delivery's been fantastic.
They're doing pharma.
Yeah, so they just got into pharmacy. They bought it in 2018. Actually, if you look at the S1, you see a big jump in revenue in the 4th quarter.
Pharma's gigantic, and pharma's expensive, and they make it cheaper. They're not in CBD. I question why that is. I think that's a mistake, but I think they'll come to it. They're trying not to be. Controversial.
Right.
But here we go. We got CrowdStrike. We got Fiverr. We got this Revolve. I mean, this has been a week for deals that we haven't seen in ages, and they're making people money. And then the second day they go up because the bankers have gotten smart. No big deals. They price the deals in the hole. The buyers win. Later on, that will not be the case. But right now, this may be rival. This may rival Beyond Meat.
And just really quick, for those, just to clarify what Jim's talking about with that 90% number, in any given quarter, according to the S1, 90% of sales are made from people who have bought from Chewy before. The other number to keep in mind, though, is the auto ship number. Those are the people like me who just sign up. I signed up 2 years ago and forgot about it. That's 67% of revenue is via auto ship, and I believe that's up 62%. So that's still growing.
Be so big.
Now we're talking about $2.5 billion.
People have to understand that when you look at this company, you see a level of loyalty. 40,000 of these. We
got a handwritten note on our first order. So that's just what's good. And you spoke about this on Squawk, right? He doesn't view it as an additional expense. It's more so just that experience.
Holy Grail, database, artificial intelligence, figures out you've got it. He wants to know very much what the birthdays of NVIDIA and Marley are. Why? Just send them presents. How about all the people on my Twitter file who said, my pet died? They sent him a condolence note, and they said, listen, your food's free. If the dog died, we're not going to charge you for that food. Who is doing these kinds of things? These things are what you used to expect from the corner store.
Right, and remember,
this is brilliant.
That's what got Amazon to where it is the customer loyalty, the focus on the customer. So they brought that to Chewy.
Yes, and that's why you could tell he'd learned so much when he was there.
And then the last thing I just want to ask, the way I see it is the auto ship number is really the metric investors want to focus on.
Totally.
Is that
that's what you right. That's what makes me want to buy the stock.
That's what I'd apply the multiple to, for example.
Right, and that's why it could be worth a great deal more. I mean, look, Beyond Meat shocked people. This is a bigger story. Okay, now the ownership I'm not crazy about. I don't like
the ownership's a little weird. The voting is all on the. Not all, but I think B shares are 10-1 voting versus A shares.
Yeah, they're saying, well, listen, that gives them the freedom to do a lot of things they couldn't do otherwise. I don't like that situation. Right. But I have to hand it to these guys. at Josh Lawson Art here. These, when they came, I immediately called my wife and said, we're done using Amazon. We're done. We're never using Amazon again. We are using this.
For pet products?
Yes, for pet products. And I said, they love you. She goes, no, they love Ev. She's still sticking by the name of Everest. I don't know. I guess she doesn't like NVIDIA ever since that decline.
Yeah,
right?
Well, it'll go to 200.
And Marley we think that he'll stop eating the banister if we give him an
CBD?
option.
CBD products, calm him down.
CBD.
Marley's going to like that for sure.
When you give Marley CBD, he slows down. Ev's asleep in a minute.
And Jim, we were going to jump to Broadcom, but I just want to mention, because you did bring up Beyond Meat. Now, one thing with that, as far as the high flyer and the rapid growth, I have seen some people bring up one thing to keep in mind with Beyond Meat is there could have been a big boost to revenue, just people trying it out, all these taste tests going on. That's not the case with Chewy.
Supply. It's in short supply. Short supply around the country. So is the Impossible Burger, but that has GMO. Be careful, that has GMO. It's not a fad. It's not a fad. Now, Tyson has a June 20th meeting. Tyson's going to unveil the rival, and Tyson believes that there's, hey guys, how you doing? Hey, it's called Slap Me 5. It's just something that people do. I could have fist bumped them, but what happens is that they're going to unveil something that they think is delicious.
I wonder if they're eating the Beyond Burgers.
They could be on the CBD dog food, for all I know. Tyson will have an entry. All it does is validate the category. Beyond Meat, I think the stock's too high, but I understand the concept and it's loved.
All right, and real quick, Chewy is our, we gotta go. Chewy is our stock of the day. Kevin Curran's got you covered. All the angle, he's diving into the S1, diving into the valuation. Get over to realmoney.com, check out Kevin Curran, he's got you covered.
And buy NVIDIA.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that on the members call, though.
Definitely.
All right, let's switch it up. Broadcom, last night Broadcom, they missed on revenue, they beat on earnings, but the real thing is they cut the guidance, I believe, by about $2 billion
in sales.
That's Huawei, a large part.
We got to go. Haktan misjudged the resolve of the President of the United States, which has been a mistake to date.
And the tone on the call was suboptimal, should we say?
Subdued, yeah, suboptimal. I mean, I felt bad for Hawk. He was like, not the same old Hawk.
This trade war is really kind of taking a toll on them, right? We had the whole NXPI Qualcomm thing with them.
Oh no,
Huawei.
I mean, thank God they snared CA.
If you get a trade deal, are you a buyer of Broadcom though?
I wait till Monday. Typically, what happens when you see a stock down 20, that's massive number of sell orders. You have to wait till they clean up. Usually by the morning on Monday, you buy. Right. Yeah, and then Broadcom will be back buying stock again.
And then real quick, just to go into the dynamics of what you mean. When you have a large seller, you mean they're selling, they're knocking the price down, then they'll wait a little bit, come back up, come back in.
Okay, so the order, here's what happens. You get the order to sell 1 million shares of Broadcom.
Right.
So what you do is you sell a lot of it, you try to get a good average, and then at the end of the day, you jam your Broadcom stock down so you can say, look, I did better than where it closed.
Lower the VWAP, kind of.
Yes.
We got the CFA tomorrow, so implementation shortfall, VWAP, we're all over this.
Surprised you're not studying right now.
Oh yeah, we'll be here all night tonight. All right, and then just real quick, let's just talk about the Fed. The retail sales actually weren't bad. Really good revision, upwards revision from the April reading.
Stanley does this survey that shows things are really weak. Employment, I'm not sure how good it is. The trade talks, well, look, I mean, Broadcom. I mean, that's an example. It's an American company, and bingo. And they lost $2 billion in sales that they had before. So you have to be worried if you're the president. You have to be, then you put pressure on the Fed.
Would you expect a cut this month, or is July really what investors need to focus on?
He has to see the employment number. If the employment number is weak, then he can do it. Remember, he's living with the fact that he raised rates 6 months ago. So it looks awful. It's like admitting that you were a fool. He has to put a little distance.
All right, so that's what we're really looking for is just the dovish tone, continue to be data-driven, and Jerome Powell to just come out. We'll see what the data tells us. All right, Jim, that's all the time we have for today.
And now we're going to go to the Action Alerts Club.
Yes, we are going to jump over Action Alerts Plus. We're talking about names that we want to buy because of that Broadcom quarter, a name that we trimmed this morning in the financial sector, and I'm sure we'll talk more Chewy on the call. So be sure to check it out over at actionalertsplus.com. Have a good weekend.